Hello. My research project is going to be focused on Jonathan Edwards and the impact that he had on not just the Great Awakening, but more importantly, his local community in Northampton, Massachusetts. I plan on doing this through looking at his actual sermons and looking at how the people responded to these sermons. Like, did they come to Christ? Did they begin to give missions, do missions to unreached people groups? How did they respond to these sermons, and did they respond in the way that Jonathan Edwards intended them to, based on the content of his sermons? First, some background information. Edwards was born into a family of ministers. His father was a minister, and his mom was the daughter of a minister. His father, growing up, his father was a pastor in a church in Connecticut. Most of his childhood was therefore surrounded by ministry and, watching his father prepare for Sunday sermons. He was an excellent student. He was given an excellent education. By the age of 13 years old, he entered Yale College. Later on, he would graduate from Yale and he would look for a job in ministry. He ended up finding it in the town of Northampton, Massachusetts, where he spent most of his ministerial career. One thing that's been surprising through researching this is just the wide variety of topics that he preached on. He would preach, of course, he would preach in Northampton, but he would also be asked to come to various other towns in Massachusetts to give sermons based on a variety of different factors. Many times he was asked to preach, I guess, a sermon when a different minister was ordained in a nearby town. So Edwards would go and basically preach about the importance of the minister's role in the community, not just as the figurehead of the church, but to Edwards, the most important thing was that they would basically help people and their soul to their eternal salvation through Christ Jesus. That's what Edwards really wanted to focus on. Not necessarily that the minister was the most important person in the town, but that their role was the most important. Because of what they were doing. They were giving people through God's grace, they were giving people the opportunity to be saved and spend eternity in heaven, when the alternative is eternal damnation in hell. And Edwards took that very, very seriously. For the most part, through my research, the people responded to Edwards very incredibly positively. They Several times Edwards makes comments about how many people came to know Christ through, in a given month or week or year, and how happy he was, because again, not only was he felt like this was a successful calling because of all the people that he was able to see be saved through Christ's love. And he felt that all of his efforts were not in vain because of the fact that these people were now saved from eternal torment in hell. So Edward is an incredible preacher, an incredible man, and one that the people really gave incredible amounts of um, respect for, because of the way that which he ministered to them and really cared about them, not just as his congregation, but as individual people who needed salvation that can only be found through Christ Jesus, through God's love and forgiveness. Thank you very much.